question, the member for Toronto Centre.
Thank you, Speaker. An Ontario judge recently stayed a repeat offender's charges. J.P. Kelly was charged with 17 counts of intimate partner violence, including assault, sexual assault, choking, and threatening death. Justice Lori Thomas said this is a case that cries out to be tried on its merit. Instead, Judge Thomas was forced to stay the charges after more than 2 years of inexplicable delays. Let that sink in. J.P. Kelly is now back in the community without supervision or counseling. One survivor told the press, "I hit the floor. I was beyond disappointed in the Ontario judicial system, and I wept for the entire day." Will the Premier apologize to survivors who will never receive justice because his government has failed to fix the courts?
To respond, the Attorney General.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and this is a very serious matter. I won't speak to the specifics as you have, as I can't, but I can tell you that this government is taking intimate partner violence very seriously. We've started initiatives that have never been even thought of before, Mr. Speaker. We've invested in our partner assistance response program. We've invested in human trafficking beyond that, Mr. Speaker. We've put many resources in. We are taking it seriously. And as for the operation of the courts, Mr. Speaker, we are working closely with our justice partners, the Chief Justices at all levels, and today happens to be opening of the courts, and when you hear their speeches, you will hear of the collaboration, cooperation to make our system work the way that Ontarians expect, Mr. Speaker.
The supplementary, back to the member for Toronto Centre.
Partner violence is an epidemic in Ontario, as it is in Canada. The court delays that survivors across Ontario are enduring are inexcusable. There was a stabbing and a shooting in Barbara Hall Park, just only a few steps away from this House, Speaker, and it happened on Tuesday. The frustrated Toronto police have informed me that one of the assailants apprehended was actually out on bail. He was actually wanted for a warrant. A year ago, I asked this government to take action to keep all our communities safe. And since I asked this question, things have only gotten worse. Under your watch, violent repeat offenders are being released back into the neighborhoods because Ontario's justice system is literally collapsing on our head. Can the Attorney General explain to Ontarians why he spent his summer setting up and awarding King's Council honorific titles to PC insiders instead of fixing our collapsing courtrooms?
The Attorney General.
Mr. Speaker, terrible.
The Attorney General to reply.
I would like to remind the member opposite that it was this Premier and this government that wrote the letter to the federal government that said we need bail reform. Mr. Speaker, it was this Attorney General and this Solicitor General that went to Ottawa and achieved bail reform, Mr. Speaker, and it's happening now.
What did the NDP do?
Mr. Speaker, I will take no lessons from a member who will not even support the police in our communities. Mr. Speaker, it's shameful.
Stop the clock. Members will please take their seats.